Right now at 6, ERCOT in the hot seat.
Obviously, what you did didn't work. I think that's fair to say.
Well, sir, respectfully, I'd say it worked from keeping us going into a blackout that we'd still be in today. That's why we did it.
Getting grilled in the House.
Who's at fault? Not systems. I want names and detail.
And in the Senate.
Mr. Magnus, with all due respect, this is not a Chamber of Commerce update. This is the largest train wreck in the history of deregulated electricity.
State lawmakers demanding answers on behalf of the millions of Texans who suffer during the storm.
And those ERCOT hearings held simultaneously at the state capitol today. And our KPRC2 Investigates team is there, bringing you live team coverage from Austin tonight. Mario Diaz covering the House hearing, Robert Arnold covering the Senate hearing. And they both witnessed some fiery moments in those chambers.
That they did. Robert, let's start with you. And it doesn't seem like this is even close to being over yet.
No, the Senate Business and Commerce Committee is going to have to work through the night to get through its list of 30 witnesses. And that's because much of the first part of this day was focused solely on ERCOT CEO Bill Magnus.
The R, the reliability, is why we're here.
State senators pushed for specifics.
As CEO of ERCOT, how could you not know?
And became irritated when given broad or non-committal answers from ERCOT CEO Bill Magnus.
I know enough to be upset with what I've heard.
Conroe Senator Brandon Creighton pushed Magnus on why state leaders and the public didn't receive stronger warnings our power grid was facing a crisis.
How could you not know the foreseeable danger and express that danger?
We saw the danger, and we continue to amp up the communications we had with the people who were really going to operate and manage the grid during that time.
Magnus later conceded he is open to improving channels of communication beyond those in the energy market. Magnus was also asked if Texas's market model needs to change in light of prices skyrocketing during a time of crisis.
We have to look at a system that is creating jackpot profit on the backs of consumers who are not going to be able to pay their bills.
Magnus again deferred to the legislature and the Public Utilities Commission.
There's a lot of buck passing and finger pointing.
Houston area State Senator John Whitmire also questioned Magnus's defending of how the crisis was handled. Magnus told senators it was the unexpected loss of dozens of power plants that caused a near catastrophe, and his team saved the statewide grid by making the call to put millions in the dark.
Anytime you've suffered the deaths and the economic loss and the suffering that Texans suffered, you didn't do it right.
Senators also pushed for very specific reasons as to why each of the 185 power plants went down at the height of the storm. ERCOT, Bill Magnus said they are still working to get those specific details. One last point, at least 3 senators asked very specific questions about wind in terms of what type of market penalties wind would suffer if it does fail to come online, and also why does ERCOT rely on wind even during times of crisis. Those questions were quickly redirected back to the storm at hand, but do seem to be setting up a larger debate as to whether Texas is going to continue investing in renewables going forward. Reporting live from the state capitol, Robert Arnold, KPRC 2 News.
Interesting, Robert. Thank you.